Well, it's a real pleasure to welcome a great friend and a gentleman who serves this community so well. Dr. Barry Ramo, noted cardiologist with the New Mexico Heart Institute, is with us today, and of course his pet project, Project Heart Start. Dr. Ramo, great to see you.
Oh, nice to see you.
Thank you for being
started
here.
with me this when you were in radio about 20 years ago.
I
We had
know.
this vision. Actually, what happened, we had this big CPR class.
Right.
It's about when I started Channel 7, late 89, 90. And then HIV came and nobody wanted to take it because they didn't want to do mouth-to-mouth.
Yeah, I remember that.
And then about 5 years ago, or probably longer than that, I discovered this data that showed that you don't need to do mouth-to-mouth, and actually compression-only CPR is even better.
Yeah.
And now it's been adopted by the other organizations, by the American Heart and American Red Cross as a way to do it. So you just call 911, you pump on the center of the chest hard and fast 100 times a minute to the tune of staying alive.
Yeah, and I went to one of the trainings last year.
Oh, great.
And so I had never known about the no mouth to mouth.
Right.
And it was actually really interesting because you practice, and when you do the practice, like it makes like a little click sound.
Right, exactly.
And you have to really do it hard, though.
No, that's
I'm
exactly right. In fact, a
surprised.
lot of people don't realize how hard it is you have to push. But I have a case where a woman was in a senior center with her friend and they were dancing, and the friend collapsed, had a cardiac arrest, and this woman, who's tiny, said, "You call 911, you get the AED," and she pumped on her chest for 7 minutes.
Wow.
Then brought the AED and they shocked her heart back to normal. She woke up before the paramedics came. She would have been dead if they'd waited for the paramedics. Took her to the hospital. We did a bypass operation on her at the heart hospital. She's now back to normal. The person who did the CPR was her best friend and had taken our course 3 weeks before at the senior center where we have a program.
Incredible.
Yeah, I mean,
how many
you just
lives
hear-
have been saved over the years because of this?
Well, it's hard to know. The thing is, right now, if you have a cardiac arrest in Albuquerque, your chances of surviving are less than 5%. And so,
Really?
yeah, it's terrible. And the only place, actually, the best place to have, you'll never guess, the best place to have a cardiac arrest outside the hospital, the casino.
No idea.
A casino.
Oh,
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
they
have all
have
the gear.
those.
That's where they developed the AED. And if you try to steal money in a casino, they're on you just like that. Well,
Yeah.
the same guys know how to do CPR. Their survival rate is if they get to you within 3 minutes, which they do, is 50%.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, these are hearts too good to die. There was an article in the paper about Jim McLean, who's one of my friends, who had a cardiac arrest outside of High Point, and he's 65. He was running 5 miles a day. He was in fabulous shape, and never expected to have this, and he had a cardiac arrest. They shocked him there, and he's back to running 5 miles a day.
That's amazing.
And it's a great story. There's a woman behind him that did it, but it happens all the time. And I think
You could
we're
be
gonna,
the one to save somebody's life.
That's exactly right. I'm
That's
so
the
glad
whole-
you took the class, and you're going to take it.
Yeah.
I'm going to take
Neither
it. My
am I.
wife and I were talking about it. Of all the years that I've promoted this with you, I've never taken the class.
Oh.
This is the year. So.
Well, I'm glad, and I appreciate you promoting it. A lot of people come. We usually get, last year we got about 2,000 people.
No.
We're in Rio Rancho, and we're at Johnson Gym at UNM, and then we're in 17 other cities. So it's all over the city.
Oh,
Man,
wow.
you used to do it at the ballpark.
That's exactly right.
For many years.
I had this vision that we'd do it at the ballpark. Well, first when you and I were involved in it, but then I had this idea we'd show it on the big screen and people would watch the video. Basically, it's a 10-minute video, and then we have 200 instructors there for everybody, so everybody gets just probably like you, just a few people.
Yeah.
And then it turns out you couldn't see the video out on the field. It was early in the morning, the sun was coming up, so we moved to Johnson Gym, and UNM has really embraced this. Every freshman's going to get it as part of their orientation.
That's beautiful.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
amazing.
And we're in 27 school districts.
Going to what Aaron said, a lot of people are fearful of hurting the person who's collapsed, right? By pressing too hard on them. And
No,
actually, you can't hurt them.
Well,
right?
that's a great point, actually.
Yeah.
The way you hurt them is doing nothing.
Yeah.
If you do nothing, they don't have a chance at all. And it's conceivable you could break some ribs, but that's a small
price to
price,
pay
yeah,
for your
to
life.
save somebody's life. But your point is really right. Actually, those AEDs, you've seen them. They're in a little case. You open them up and you talk to them. The greatest impediment to using those is unzipping them. Because people are afraid to take the fire extinguisher out. They thought the alarm will go
There's
off.
hesitation.
Yeah, exactly. But you really have to, like that lady, she acted quickly. Yeah, so and now the real goal is to prevent people from having cardiac arrest in the first place, and
Sure.
have a lifestyle like this good, healthy breakfast here.
And what are some simple ways to prevent?
Absolutely. No, I've spent my whole life talking to people about how to prevent heart disease. Now, what do you do? What is your heart disease prevention program?
That's a great.
Well, I try to have a healthy lifestyle.
All right. Do you
Work out
exercise?
regularly. Try to eat well.
How about exercise?
Yeah, I
You do
try to work
exercise.
out.
How about you?
Not enough exercise, but we try to eat well and.
Do you walk?
Yes.
Walking, I think, is as good as anything else. It was just one of the things that people don't realize, that walking not only improves your physical fitness, but it can grow new brain cells. And
Really?
there's increasing data that exercise will change the neurophysiology of your brain, and that it helps you remember, it helps you focus. It's really, exercise to me is the key part of a healthy program. And both of you are normal weight, so that's important. That's the key problem in our country is being overweight.
Yeah.
I haven't had my cholesterol checked in some time. When I did last, it was just fine, and in fact, it was on the low side. How often does that need to be checked?
Well, if you're normal, the new guidelines are if you don't have heart disease, let's say you're in the group of patients who don't have heart disease, your LDL cholesterol, remember there's an H, which is the happy cholesterol, and L is lousy cholesterol, LDL cholesterol. If it's less than 190 now, we're not treating it with medication. The only reason for checking it periodically is to make sure it hasn't gone out of sight. But LDL in 190 is pretty high. Probably yours, was much lower than that. Usually the total you'd like
It's in
is
the 170s.
Yeah, so your total would be 170. So your LDL is probably less than
But
100.
my HDL was low. It
Oh,
was on the
okay.
low end of the scale.
And that's
So-
a diet. You want to get less carbs and less simple sugar. Like liquid calories,
I see.
Cokes.
No carbs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's turning out to be the enemy.
Yeah. Oh, that's true.
But this program, we want to get everybody out there.
It's this Saturday.
Right.
And locations again and times and all that.
And it's at 8, 9, 10, and 11 at Johnson Gym and in Rio Rancho at the
Takes 40
Senior
minutes?
Center. It takes about 40 minutes, and then we have a health fair there so they can get their blood pressure checked and look at a lot of healthy things and learn about good health. So it's really a good experience that kids are out there. See, we do this in 7th grade classes, so kids that are not very big, 70 pounds, can push it and make a click.
Yeah.
But it's if people want to know, it's projectheartstartnm.org.
Okay.
They can find their cities, but there's 17 other cities all the way down to Las Cruces,
Wow.
Gallup,
It's really expanded
Boswell.
through the
Yeah,
years.
no, it has. And actually, there's people coming out from Oklahoma. They want to do a Project Heart Start in Oklahoma. The beauty of this is I only have one employee, Dorte Hutchison. That's it. And then everybody else does their own. For example, Sandia Labs put in the program, Intel put in the program, CNM has put in the program. So they do their own program. We're just I've made videos that they can use to train people.
How many
Now-
thousands of people, I'm sorry, Ariana, how many thousands of people do you think you've trained over the years?
We've trained, we know we've trained 20,000 in the last 4 years. And I think
Wow.
now with the schools, we're going to be training 20 or 30,000 a year just in the schools. And UNM has got 4,000 freshmen. So we're moving into it. And I think
Yeah.
employers are going to want to have their people done. And I've worked out a program, for example, if everybody here wanted to get trained for $150, they'll send somebody over here and they'll train 15 people. It's $110 a person. So.
That's not bad.
But you know how you could train them.
Little mini training.
That's right.
Now, one of the great things about this is it's free.
Right.
And you can just walk in anywhere you want to.
That's
on
exactly
Saturday.
right. No, you just no
registration.
Absolutely, you just show up, and Marissa Mays is going to be with me. She's been my partner in all of this
Yes.
for the last 4 years. She's terrific, and so she's got 3 little kids that she brings. I'll bring my grandchildren, and it's a lot of fun. It's really a fun. Now, it's hard to say that CPR is fun, but it actually is. People really like it. The fire department guys come. The fire chief's coming. A lot of people who really think this is important have helped us, and we've gotten some good grants too. The State Board of Nursing has given us a grant to educate all the students in the state, and so
wow.
that's been very helpful to us.
Yeah. Well, it can be a lot of fun if you're singing, Staying Alive while
Right,
you're doing
that's right. Well, I
You do
forgot that.
that song comes on, right?
Yeah, no, it does. Bum, bum, bum. The problem is I can't carry a tune, but that's exactly right. No,
We all know the song.
yeah, that's exactly right. So we have also they're copyright, so I couldn't use it in my video. But,
Oh.
but let's say you were a person. Let's say Cuesta has done this. Okay, so somebody there downloads our video, and they download an instructor's video, and they get 10 mannequins, which are $25 each, and they can have a course, and they
There you go.
don't need us. The whole point of this really is the sustainability. That if I get hit by a car tomorrow, it'll go on because we really are teaching people how to do this. So we're really excited about it.
All right, the main location
this is
is
amazing
Johnson
thing.
Gym at UNM and in Rio Rancho. Where is that?
Sabrina, it's
Sabana Grande
right.
Recreation Center.
That's exactly right.
All the
That's for some reason I
locations are
can't read
online.
it, but
During
thank
the
you so
morning,
much.
Show up. And great to see you.
Oh,
Dr.
great
Raymond.
to see you.
Yeah,
Thank
thanks
you
for
very
coming.
much. Nice to see you.
nice to
Yeah,
see
this is so
you.
much fun, and I appreciate your support.
Of
Yeah.
course.
Dr. Barry Ramo, Project Heart Start this Saturday. Coming back with more on the Morning Brew right after this.
That's